Hello everyone, welcome to Out of Spec Guide. I'm Ryan and today we're going to be talking about tires, EVs, and how they work together. Last week I had the opportunity to attend the Tread Overland Summit, and that was out in Big Bear, California. It was a really amazing event and a great opportunity to get outdoors, experience some overlanding, do some serious off-roading, and get to see some relevant products and what they do and why they're made that way. I think this is a particularly interesting topic, especially pertaining to EVs, because we're starting to see more and more electrified vehicles in the off-roading space. And this isn't just limited to the F-150 Lightning and the Rivian R1T. We're also seeing dirt bikes and ATVs, that kind of stuff, become electrified. And I think it's really quite exciting. As we all know, EVs tend to be pretty heavy and they've got a lot of torque and it's available right from a stop. And those introduce some pretty unique challenges when designing a tire. I had the opportunity to speak with Milestar Tire. They're a relatively new tire company. They're actually not a sponsor and they don't even make EV tires at the moment. However, they're currently developing EV tires, and I had the opportunity to speak with a representative, and we had a great conversation, and it really helped provide a lot of information about why they have to make tires a certain way, what goes into designing tires for EVs, and specific challenges related to that. So, without further ado, let's get into it. How's it going? Can you please go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Martin Castro with Milestar Tires, and we're here at the Tread Agency event. Like, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Tread Academy, whatever it is. But we're out here in Big Bear and getting to drive and test all kinds of things. One of them happens to be tires.
Absolutely. Can you tell me a little bit about your guys' company?
Milestar Tires is a relatively new brand. It's only about 10 years old. We started making trailer tires and focused a lot on commodity products. And through that, we learned a lot on our original MT. We developed the MT02, which is here today. We also have various all-terrains, whether it's our AT Pro, which is brand new coming out of Tennessee, which is our second US made tire, or it's our Patagonia XT, which is our hybrid tire. So it's built like an MT, so tough sidewalls with a 40,000 mile warranty and 3 PMS, so severe snowflake rating. Because most consumers want best of both worlds, right? They want performance, they want quiet, they want a warranty, and they want to be able to drive through inclement weather.
Also, we were talking a little bit earlier about electric vehicles and that potential application.
If you try to take that into where the electric vehicle scene is going, it's predominantly SUVs, CUVs, and passenger cars. And we're starting to see trucks, right? We see the Rivian, and then we see also the Ford Lightning, both compelling products. And even Dodge and Chevrolet have their electric trucks coming out. And the expectation is different. What I mean by that is electric motors produce 100% of torque at 0 RPM. And that's so much leverage on the tread blocks that a lot of care has to be put into the formulation of the compounding, as well as how the carcass is going to react under load and under strain, because it's got to bear the weight of the vehicle, and it has to be able to perform like driving function and driving in inclement weather, providing that type of traction, noise, because there's no internal combustion engine. So that's one noise that's eliminated. So tire noise becomes more ambient or more apparent. In our experience in developing the MT02, we were finding that a simple compound change, everything else remained the same, whether the tire size, the wheel, the vehicle, the road driven on, as well as the time of day. Eliminate as many variables as we could, and there was 2 to 3 decibel difference of more noise just based upon compounding.
Right, and decibels are a logarithmic scale, so that's very apparent. That's twice as loud, basically.
It's a significant and noticeable difference. And again, that's just this type of tire. When you combine that, when you're trying to put it into an electric vehicle, even though they have a lot of sound deadening, even though they tend to be very robust and well built, it's still something that the owner's going to hear, and they're going to like worry. Is there something wrong? And it's just a different expectation. So electric vehicles and the tires that are being built for them are taking on a different philosophy, and it's really pushing the limits of compound development as well as tire construction. You know, the weight of it is a factor, the weight of the vehicle, where that weight is bearing. So, you know, we'll tend to see a little bit more embellishment or emphasis on the crown of the tire, mostly because of the steering. Again, because so many of them are CUVs tend to have a higher center of gravity, and there's more leverage on the outer tread blocks of the tire. Beyond that, we want to talk about rolling resistance and the amount of inertia. And so if you can have, it's hard to have a low inertia tire or a tire that has low rolling resistance, but also provides really good traction. That's one of the challenges that I think that a lot of manufacturers are working through. It's something that we're not ready for yet in terms of light truck capability. We do have our product planning for passenger car, electrical vehicle tires. That's coming in 2 to 3 years with a specific product line, because we feel that that's a little easier to do. We're going to see the advancement of charging technology and battery efficiency ramp up here in the next decade. With that, tires are still going to be very sensitive because it's the only thing contacting the road. If it's harder to turn the tire or there's greater resistance to that, it requires more energy to move it. In that way, compounding is so essential, and that's one of the hardest parts about developing new products for a segment that is relatively new. Electrified vehicles in a broad sense, sold to the public in a big way, have really only been around for 15 years. Yes, you've had, you know, early stuff over 100 years ago, and then you had, you know, Chevy's EV1 in the early 90s, and then you had Toyota with the RAV4 electrified, but those were really small programs. Now it's a greater emphasis. Hybrids did lead to low rolling resistance tires and popularization of that. However, it's still an internal combustion engine, and again, we're still factoring in NVH on fully electric vehicles. We're still factoring in rolling resistance because it's more essential, because you only have so much range. And right now, charging technology is one of the limitations. So the more efficient the vehicle is, the less energy you spend, the further you go, right? But when we're talking about tires, that's the only thing touching the ground. So it is very important. For us, we would want to get that technology right. And it's something that it's on the drawing board, but it's not here today for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to explain all that information about tires, compounds, treads, all those details, and how that pertains to electric vehicles specifically.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks again.